Music making tools have given us so many paths to explore. There is always a new sound to use, a new effect to try, a new tool of one kind or another. But we rarely manipulate or experiment with one of the most basic parameters of music. It is so foundational that it claims its place on the main transport panel, right next to the tempo setting. I'm referring to the time signature. In most music, there are 4 quarter notes in a bar. This is what 4/4 indicates. But there's nothing about this that is written in stone. What happens if we change this to 5/4? You might initially think we are adding a beat to a bar of 4/4, but actually, the building blocks of musical time are groups of 2s and 3s, which means that 5/4 isn't necessarily a bar of 4/4 with an additional beat. Instead, it is a combination of a group of 2 and a group of 3 beats. The group of 2 and group of 3 can be arranged however you want. For our musical idea, we are going to be thinking in eighth note subdivisions. So we will have not just one group of 2 and one group of 3, but 2 groups of 2 and 2 groups of 3. Let's see if we can create some down-tempo synthwave in 5/4. Let's start with our drum groove so that we have a clear outline of how our 5/4 bar is going to feel. We are going to use Groove Agent, and we'll load up Alan Morgan's signature drums, Vintage Kit number 1. We'll start with our kick. Let's start by clearly announcing the beginning of the pattern, the bar, with a kick on beat 1. We are going to treat this kick as the origin point of our first group of 3, and then follow it up with our second group of 3 with another kick on the and of 2. Next, we will add our cross-stick snare, and we'll add it on the backbeat on beats 2 and 4. This anchors the groove, but also shines a light on the potential awkwardness of 5/4, which is an odd time signature. If we were to continue the backbeat pattern in the snare, beat 5 might sound like an extra beat. This is where we will put our groups of 2. We'll add another cross-stick snare on beat 5, which now turns beat 4 and 5 into 2 groups of 2 eighth notes. And to help the pattern step back into the beginning of the loop, we will add an eighth note kick on the and of beat 5, which turns us back around to beat 1. Now, let's add our closed hi-hat layer. We'll add a steady stream of eighth note hi-hats, and then add some ghost note hats in between on the offbeat 16th notes. Now let's add a ghost note cross-stick snare that prepares the beat 5 snare and helps to make it feel like less of an additional beat and makes it feel more purposeful. We'll continue this burst of ghost note energy and add a ghost kick on the 16th note before the last kick. For a final touch, we will change our last 2 hi-hats to open hats. Now, let's create our synth part. We will use Hallian Sonic and load up the Sugar Pop Pick, which has a very aquatic kind of video game sound. Since we are channeling a synthwave type of texture, I want to have a steady stream of eighth notes, almost like an arpeggiator, but with more articulation variety. Since we have a bar of 5/4, that means we have 10 eighth notes. I want to use this 3-note pattern throughout. And to conform it to the 5/4 bar, we are going to repeat this 3-note sequence twice, which makes use of 6 of the bar's 10 eighth notes. And then we'll do it once more, except rise back to the middle note to get back to the beginning of the bar. This becomes a fragment that has 4 eighth notes. Now we have 2 groups of 3 and a group of 4, 10 eighth notes in total, which completes the 5/4 bar. We are in the key of C minor, so we are going to add a 3 eighth note counter melody at the beginning of each bar and adapt it as we cycle through our chord progression. We'll start with the 1 chord, C minor, and the counter melody will start on the root, C, and then rise to the 5th, G, and then reach up to the root an octave higher, C. Then the chord progression will move to the 6th chord, which in C minor is A flat major, where the counter melody will start on A flat the root, then go up to the 5th E flat, and then reach even higher to the 9th B flat. Then we'll move to the 4 chord, which is F minor, where it will start on the root F, rise to the 5th C, and then reach up to the 9th G. And the last chord will return to A flat major with the same pattern we initially used. And for our final element, we need a bass line. For the bass, we will use Hallian Sonic and we'll use the Decay Bass preset. For each chord, the bass will begin by playing right along with the counter melody. But after the 3 initial eighth notes, it will rush back down to the root on the and of 2, the 4th eighth note. This allows it to synchronize with the second kick in each bar, locking the bass and drums together a bit more. At the end of each bar, we'll add 2 16th notes that give us some more forward momentum as we launch into the next chord. The thing that I love most about experimenting with odd time signatures is that when you first move away from a more standard time signature, like 4/4, everything sounds so strange and even broken. But once you live with an odd time signature like 5/4 for a little while, even just 10 to 20 minutes, the strangeness wears off and all of a sudden you start feeling the new pulse. I find that once this happens, when I go back to 4/4, the standard time signature actually sounds weird to my ears at first. It is always a welcomed reminder that we can adapt and get used to just about anything, and by pushing ourselves into new territories, especially ones that are outside of our comfort zone, we can keep our ears and minds fresh, and hopefully, as a result, the music we create stays alive.